What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Burrow77 coming to you with my main man, Leg and Nick Dianni. We are back to bring you some additional Champions League early coverage here. We have a very good matchup for Tuesday and for Wednesday. 4 games apiece, 1 game starting at 12:15, the other 3 starting at 3 o'clock. We're going to get started here right away with Brest versus PSG. PSG just won this head-to-head in France on February 1st. Brest scored 2. PSG on the road scored 5. Dembele had a hat trick. PSG also won the reverse fixture at home this season back on, September 14th, something like that. PSG 3, Brest 1. Dembele had a brace in that. PSG hasn't lost this head-to-head since before the internet was invented, guys. I went back to 1989 is where I stopped getting data, and PSG had not lost this head-to-head. There have been ties in there, obviously, but PSG is 9-1-0 in the last 10 head-to-heads, and PSG is 10-0-0 away in their last 10 head-to-heads.
How do I top that with any thoughts?
Brest can score a goal. Both teams can score.
That's true. Both teams to score has been popping off pretty good. I do like both teams to score as well at -140 over on Caesars. Both games this year had both teams to score, so I can definitely see that trend continuing. Let's jump over to some predicted starting 11s. Obviously, I just talked a bunch about Dembele and how he has 5 goals in their last 2 head-to-heads. So I'm going to start with Dembele anytime goal scorer at +105 over on either FanDuel or DraftKings. That's probably where I'm going to start player prop shopping.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go 3 for 3 anytime we talk about PSG together. Bradley Barcola +250 for an assist. Dude is an assist. As much as Dembele is a goal machine, Barcola's an assist machine. So that's going to be in the +250 range or better. I'm going to continue to take it. Cashed it the last 2 shows we had, so let's go for 3.
So both those guys you just said, you guys both took a side. I was looking at their to score or assist number, so that works out for me either way. And then Achraf Hakimi and Vitinha love jacking for chicks if I see them in the starting lineup. Vitinha's shots outside the box isn't a crazy one. Achraf Hakimi just to score assist number wouldn't even be that crazy against Brest. I think Achraf takes a few of the set pieces on that side of the field at least.
Yeah, he definitely does. Hakimi shot on target I liked at +135 over on BetRivers, and Vatan shot on targets +145 on MGM. The other guy I was looking at is like this entire midfield shoots for PSG. So you can get Ruiz for a shot on target at +140 as well over on BetRivers. I think that's a good look. Dembele, 2 shots on target, +115 on BetRivers. I do like him for a goal. I think if you're shooting twice on net, you should be in the back of the goal, especially at the Champions League level. But you get a little better number for 2 shots on target. So I could realistically see you playing both. Like I mentioned, Dembele has had multiple goals in each of these head-to-heads this year. And I think he's got 12 goals in his last 6 games. Dude's been on an absolute heater. So I could even see you going and sprinkling Dembele for a brace.
Also, notice that none of us said anything about Special K over there. We got to see him for an hour against Brest, and he got hooked. So now if you want to take a little revenge angle, like, hey, he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder, that's going to be your argument for taking any Special K props, do you? But I would probably stick with the hot hands like we've been saying.
Yeah, and other than that, I think going along with the both teams to score, we mentioned it -140. I like both teams to score. I really like the over 2.5 here as well. At -101 over on Caesars for the combo. Obviously, you can see the line is set at over 3.5. They definitely think that PSG is scoring at least twice. The number on Brest to score has pulled back a little bit. -165 is like -190 earlier in the weekend when I was getting ready with this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even PSG and over 2.5 isn't even super appealing to me. It's minus 130. I mean, do I think it comes in? Yeah, but this is
Do you
I don't
really
know.
want to lay that much
You
juice
don't.
on
I know.
needing
I
3
definitely
goals?
don't. I mean, it's tough for me because I'm trying to come on and not give out my disdain for PSG in the Champions League, but also try to give some solid advice and some good leans. Uh, Tough to see them losing this one, but I'm not looking to drink any juice on them either.
Feel that. Leg, you got anything else?
I'm looking for a number on both teams to score in PSG money line. Yeah, I'm looking at a plus 125 on DK, and if I was going to take a side, that's probably what I did.
Yeah.
Just because Brest's at home, you're in the Champions League. I don't know how often we're really going to be saying Brest is in the Champions League. So I don't know who's going to score the goal.
Right.
I couldn't pick out a name for you from Brest, but I do think they get at least one. Just like I do think PSG would still probably cover the spread and will win this game.
I'm with you. Yeah, PSG and both teams to score plus 150 MGM, plus 160 bet 365 if you have it. But yeah, plus 140 to plus 160. I think a very playable number. I like that as well.
Now, I'm trying to advocate for maybe could you take Brest plus 1.5, but I don't even think you can. So thank you guys for listening to me for a minute of just rambling to not give out a bet.
No worries, man. That said, be sure to like and subscribe right here at youtube.com/Burroaks772. I'll be able to bring you guys as many of these Champions League previews and other sorts of free content right there on my YouTube channel. If you're subscribed, you get notified. It costs you absolutely nothing. It helps me out a shit ton, and that's what helps bring Leg and Nick back as well. So please subscribe, youtube.com/Burroaks772. All the links can also be found right here in the video description.
Guys, that's not true. I would come back if you only subscribe to my channel, not Oaks's. I'm lying to you.
Up next, we have Juve versus PSV. Juve has definitely looked a lot better, especially in Serie A with the addition of Kolo Muani, who is now eligible for Champions League. Muani's been on an absolute tear in Serie A. Juve at home is definitely gonna be tough, but I think PSV can get a goal here. I'm looking at both teams to score minus 115. I definitely am not super thrilled. I'm not happy Ricardo Pepe's hurt. Obviously, that's my guy, U.S. men's national team, everything like that. Plus, I just think he's a stud. But, Luke de Jong, Mr. European Knight, isn't a terrible replacement for him. I know he's been playing pretty ass recently, and I'm sure Leg will lay into him a little bit more for that. But I definitely think that PSV can get one at home or on the road here in Juventus. I think Juventus are going to need 2 to win this game. And I think they're going to push for 2 because you got to win your home games in Champions League to advance in a 2-leg draw where you have to go to the Netherlands and that stadium's going to be rocking. You want to win this one at home. I don't know if I'm going to get involved with Juventus on the money line at minus 110. I would prefer, if I get involved with them, to take the team total over 1.5 at plus 100. But I think the over 2.5 is very live in this game at plus 105. But it is Juventus. If they are rock solid defensively, I could see them looking to grind out a 1-0 win. But again, this one's a little tough. Juve is very low volume when it comes to shots. When they do shoot it, they tend to put them on target and be pretty clinical with them, or completely fucking miss the net and they just only put up 6 shots and will score a goal. But yeah, I think Juve is going to need 2 here. I think they're going to push for 2 here. So I like the both teams to score at minus 115. I like the over 2.5 at plus 105. And I do lean on Juve team total over 1.5 plus 100.
I'll agree with just about everything you said. Kolo Muani, I think, has something like 5 goals in the 3 games that he's played with Juventus. So if you're hanging plus 200 on him, you got to take it. Ride the hot hand there. Have to imagine he's starting in this one. Both teams to score. I'm with you. That's a silly number for a PSV team that pretty much could score at will and gives up just about as many goals as they score. So I think they're going to need at least one to head back to the Netherlands to have a shot to advance out of this. So I think the logic is right there. Even like for them to score a goal on their own is a nice little parlay piece. If you want to throw that in with something else, sitting at minus 180, minus 190. Not too bad. And I'd be silly to not mention the draw. Juve, I believe, has something like 13 draws out of 21 games domestically. I think they had 3 or 4 draws in the group stage of Champions League. Plus 250 is a pretty solid number for, like you said, like a team that doesn't put a whole ton of balls on net. Get a goal, and I'm not going to say they're going to sit back, but the defense has been leaky. So it will take 2. Could PSV score 2 themselves? Sure. So I could see a 1-1 or a 2-2. Plus 250, not a bad number at all. Juve money line, my least favorite of anything you said. So, I mean, I'm agreeing with you. You didn't say it, but agreeing with the reasoning.
Yeah.
I'm on the complete other side. I like PSV on the double chance.
Okay.
I'm looking at a Juventus backline without Kalulu, so I'm assuming the young Portuguese kid that they have on loan from Chelsea is going to be playing with Gatti. And I have 2 names written down right now, and it's Noah Lang and Bakayoko. And I think they have absolutely no real answers to stop either of them. So if Luke de Jong wants to find his shooting boots, me and Oaks talked about a little bit before the show, he does like a European night. If he wants to be that guy again and start finishing his chances instead of just being a penalty kick merchant and being essentially a washed-up Immobile in the Dutch league, feel free. Because Ricardo Pepe isn't here to save us. I do love Till in the middle. I'm hoping Malik Tillman is getting his fitness back. It said he's supposed to be back available around now. I'm hoping he's training in because I'd love to see him get involved in this as well, because I just think Juve's back line is abysmal, especially with no Cambiasso back there, no Kalulu back there. Gatti's gone back to being like a plumber again, which I don't know why Juventus fans are super surprised about that one. You guys kind of got a diamond in the rough for a few matches there. But Timmy Weah still isn't a right back.
No.
I'm just looking forward to Juventus actually being able to stop this attack from PSV. And the only thing that really surprised me from what Oak said was Juve over 1.5. Now, I have Muani goal. I'm with you. I was like plus 235. Muani goal.
All day.
Here. Who the fuck else is scoring?
No one.
Usually I tell you Yildiz, but he's on what, like a 10 goalless streak?
At least, yeah.
Ito, I don't even know if he's actually going to start. I'd be surprised not to see Nico Gonzalez in that position. And now all of a sudden Weston McKennie went from left back to the 8 to the 10. Now, I love watching Weston move up the field, but maybe he gets a header in, and that's how we get the 2 Juve goals. But I'm excited to see what Juve is actually going to do rather than our predicted lineup we're working with here.
Yeah. No, you made a lot of good points. Like, hard to argue with anything you said. I have to imagine he slots back next to Thuram. That has to kind of be it. I don't really know. I'd be shocked if Luis got to start too, because he hasn't played ever. Yeah. But Coop Miners has been asked, so it's possible.
That's why I like Weston McKennie getting up there, and then let's get some goals. I just find it hard to believe he's actually going to be. He was playing left back 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, he played forward this weekend though, in a similar lineup. I'm with you guys. Like, Muani for a goal is definitely something I gotta take. Plus 240 over on Bet Rivers. If McKinney is playing this kind of 10 role here, or even if he's playing the 8, I'm gonna sprinkle on his assist at plus 390, just because he does have a pretty good connection. And can find people in space. He is a dangerous guy off of set pieces as well. But yeah, for the PSV side, I'm right there with Leg. You guys know I like Bakayoko. I bet him over the weekend to score. He didn't. And Noah Lang got in the back of the net. Both Bakayoko and Lang's to score assist is plus 200 over on FanDuel, and Bakayoko is plus 280, and Bakayoko is perfectly capable of assisting as well as shooting. I like both of those guys for 2 shots plus a shot on target.
Who takes their corners?
I
want to say that they either swap or Veerman's taking it, but I forget how tall Veerman is.
Yeah, and obviously this isn't the ideal lineup without Tillemans in there, or what's his name, the other US guy, but yeah, Till in the middle to score assist at plus 310 is another look.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't take all three because I don't think PSV's
He's
scoring.
also plus 150 to get a shot on target.
Yeah. Dude, Bakayoko shot on target plus 105 FanDuel, disrespectful ass number. Yildiz for a shot on target plus 105 over on BetRivers. Luke De Jong for a shot on target is plus 108 over on BetRivers, and Till for a shot on target is plus 110 on DK and plus 133 on BetRivers. So I think there's a lot of value here, especially I think PSV is going to shoot a lot and they're going to put balls on target. Whether or not they're able to convert them into goals is going to be my big question. So I like shots out of PSV here. I like shots on target stuff. I think the volume is going to be a lot lower from Juventus because they do tend to be more clinical. And they'll keep the ball in the final third and just move it around a lot and sometimes come away with possessions with absolutely nothing, which is why I frequently am screaming at my TV when I'm watching Juve games.
I also think there's going to be a set piece goal. I don't know what it is. I think it's because everybody on PSV's attack is gigantic. Like, they're all 6'1", except for Lang and Bakayoko.
Yep.
And then on the flip side, I'm looking at Thuram, Gatti, Weston McKennie. Somebody's going to get a Morata-esque goal where their eyes are probably closed as the ball hits the back of their head.
Highest scoring half, second half, even money. Game like this, I think, is solid.
I can see that. Yeah, if I wanted to take a flyer on something, maybe PSV to score first. Come out on the road. You know you have a good offense. Stand on the throttle. Try and get the first goal and make Juve uncomfortable. Let me see what that is really quick. All right, PSV to score first, plus 160 over on FanDuel. Not a bad little number there. What were your headed shots on target flyers?
Well, I'm looking at, like, De Jong is an easy one. He's one of the main targets. He's their number 9. Veerman and Shelton are just both gigantic. They're 6'1". They just look like giant, like, Holland-esque type players when they go up for headers. Same with Till. He's also 6'1". They're also just gigantic. Now, do they hit the frame and score? I don't know, but I think it will hit them in the head.
I like it. Any final thoughts from you, Nick?
No, I think we covered it.
All right, guys. Appreciate you, as always, for tuning in. Make sure to follow me on social media at Burrow77, Twitter, X, Instagram, at Nick Dianni, at Young Leg. All those links are below in the description as well. And we will see you back here to talk some more Champions League shortly. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Burrow77 here with Leg and Nick Dianni. We're going to talk Sporting versus Dortmund here for the UCL on Tuesday afternoon. Dortmund is just royally fucking me right now. I cannot figure this team out. They look terrible in the Bundesliga. They look okay in Champions League, but then Leg and I went back and kind of really looked at their schedule, and they really haven't played anybody. I guess a 3-0 win at Bruges for their first game was impressive, but I remember watching that game, and Bruges easily could have also had 3. So, like, I don't know. That was a very deceptive final scoreline.
They lost to Lucas Vasquez, so no respect.
Yeah, Dortmund got shit pumped at the Bernabeu by us 2-5. And they scored 2 early, again against Vasquez's side, and then we came on and just laid the hammer on them. They got they hung tough with Barcelona in a 3-2. But yeah, I just don't know what to make of this Dortmund team right now. I also don't really know what to make of Sporting. I don't know if Victor Gregores has kind of figured it out with his manager, whether or not he's going to play, because this Sporting team without Victor is just pretty tough to watch. I do think both teams to score over 2.5 is good here. Dortmund can't stop anybody. Sporting, like, their defense isn't super prime here. I do like Dortmund going forward, so I'll take both teams to score over 2.5, sitting at plus 102 over on Caesars. I think the over 2.5 at -135 is okay. Is a standalone price as well, but
Yep.
I do not want to get involved in a side here. I'm just going to go for goals.
Agree. Everything I'm looking at on the screen, I have to agree with you. Two teams that I don't get right either, Sporting especially. But they do have pretty much the guy who's been lighting up Europe the past year and a half. Dortmund, man. Even looking at, you mentioned their Champions League form, their Bundesliga form has been like worse. They can't beat anybody. They're getting smacked around by good teams. They're getting smacked around by newly promoted sides. They can't stop the ball from going in the back of the net. So even if you wanted to take a Sporting over 1.5 team total at home, it'd be hard for me to talk you out of it, especially if that number goes up.
I'm biting the bullet, and I'm just taking Sporting on the money line.
Okay.
Dortmund has been abysmal, and I think Sporting is turning it around a little bit here. The new manager, like, unsteadiness is starting to pass. I'm hoping Sporting plays a little bit more consistent football here. And then other than that, I would love to see goals. Do I necessarily trust anyone to get me them? I have 2 names written down. I looked at Trincão's to score assist number. I like his shot on target number. And then I also wrote down Gittins over on Dortmund. So, you got a nice 1 each. Probably end in a 1-1 draw. And I'll be really upset that I even watched the fucking game. But I don't hate the both teams to score a shout. I just don't think there's going to be more than 1-1 and I would love to be proven wrong and this game be really fun to watch. But there's just, when you have the best striker in Europe, one of the most informed ones. Sorry, I just said best striker in Europe to anyone that gets offended. Portuguese Twitter has already been after me a few times. And then all of a sudden a new manager comes in and everything gets fucked. When this dude's putting up like hat tricks, bagging, kind of puts a dampener on everything. And we're looking at Dortmund. It's going to be in the exact same situation. So I don't know who's going to be the one to finally prove it. And the Champions League is a great time to do it. But I lean Sporting, and in Trincão we trust.
Didn't they just fire a manager too, Dortmund?
Yes.
Yes,
right?
they did.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, could have mentioned that, I guess.
That's
No,
fine.
Leg, I'm with you, dude. Trincão's been good, right? And he's been good even when Gyökeres hasn't played or hasn't really picked it up. So I'm with you there. I'm looking at this lineup, and I don't know how truthful it is. Emre Can is going to be playing center back.
Yeah, maybe.
He has been recently. So
Okay, well, he's plus 200 to get a card. So you could sign me the fuck up for that one.
Yep, I also have Emre Can to be booked at plus 245.
Even better.
As we're talking about bookings, I do have to mention, check out BetUS. I can't bet bookings here in Michigan. BetUS is my partner for my international book, my offshore that I use. So check it out down below. 125% deposit match if you need a book. BetUS. Those are who I bet cards with. And I am looking at Emre Can as well as Sabitzer and Schlotterbeck are both good targets for cards as well. Sabitzer sitting at plus 350 and Schlotterbeck, who took a red 2 games ago at home for Dortmund, plus 360. Both of those guys, big as fuck. Both targets on set pieces as far as Schlotterbeck and Sean. And, obviously they're center backs who are going to be dealing with a lot with Trincão and Gregores. And I even like Morita here over on Sporting, another Japanese international. So that's definitely what I'm looking at as far as bookings go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just while you're on that, Oaks, over 3.5, like for the game, seems really, really low. It's not the best number. It's minus 140, but
that is
I
a
would
really
play.
low number though. But I come from La Liga where the lines are 6.5. So
yeah,
we got a Norwegian ref that I don't know much about.
I take it back.
Never mind.
But it
Pass.
is in Portugal. So we know in Portugal, the physical battle will always be happening. I could definitely get behind that over 3.5 number for the entire game. I could even see it being bumped up to 4.5 as well for a plus money number. That said, one thing I gotta mention with Dortmund is Julian Brandt's gonna take pretty much every corner for them. So Brandt assist at plus 410 over on FanDuel is a very nice number. He did have a goal over the weekend that Gross assisted. But yeah, Brandt is primarily going to be your set piece taker here. I think Gerasi playing striker at plus 215 for an anytime goal over on DK is pretty disrespectful. And guys whose numbers I'm always going to take when they're plus signs and they start for Dortmund, as long as these two guys start, Adeyemi for a shot on target at plus 120 on FanDuel is disrespectful. And Bino Gittins, who I laid juice on, I paid minus 125 or minus 130 for his shot on target this weekend. I think he got it within like 9 minutes for me. Bino Gittins is plus 133 over on Bet Rivers for a shot on target. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, listen, hopefully everybody's watching all of these videos, but catch this little tidbit. The numbers on these guys are higher, right? They're expecting less scoring. It's 2 legs. Defenses should be shored up. Everybody is going to want to limit any exposure going into leg 2. If you're giving me guys that routinely score and that are routinely sitting at plus 125, plus 130, plus 150 to get a goal, now all of a sudden they're plus 220, plus 230. Yeah, proceed with a little bit of caution. But to me, that extra $1.50, I'm going to take it. Like it's there for us. You have to kind of take advantage. So I'm with you. Some of these shot props you're giving out, like you're not going to get these numbers week in and week out. So you kind of have to take a little bit of a stab.
Leg, you got anything?
I'm so smart. I shut him up.
I like Ryerson for booking, and he just seems like a little hack every time I watch him play. That's mostly just what my eyeballs tell me. But nah, I think I'll find a lot of good, just random shot numbers and headed shots based off of these. Like if I see Emery Can shot attempt at a plus sign, I'm gonna go crazy. So
for sure. Same with Schlotterbeck too. Yeah. Like both of those guys are massive targets on set pieces. I also like Sabitzer to shoot from the midfield. Depends on where Gross is. He's been hot and cold with his shooting, depending on what position he's playing. He's played right back for Ryerson a couple of times, but Sabitzer is a guy who I always kind of target. I like his 2 shots anytime it's a plus number. He does let him rip there from the midfield. But yeah, other than that, if you guys don't have anything else, we'll keep it moving.
Well, part of me wants Adeyemi to do really shitty, so he leaves his team and goes to Newcastle instead.
I don't know why that fucking Napoli deal fell through. It seems like he'd be a really nice replacement for Special K, especially with all the money they just got off that.
That's why I think they inflated the price a little too much.
Yeah.
That could be. I don't know. Dortmund usually does pretty good business, so I don't know. It's interesting, but they clearly like Adeyemi enough to keep him around, even if they were asking too much money for him. But anyway, Adeyemi's a guy I've liked since he came over from RB Salzburg. So I want to see him start. I want to see him play as much of the 90 as possible. So yeah, that's it, guys. Once again, if you do need a international sports book, check out the sign up promo code down below. 125% deposit match through BetUS. Link right down here in the description, as well as the YouTube socials, everything like that. So check it out, and we will be back shortly. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Burrow77 with Nick and Leg. Up next, we have Man City versus Real Madrid. This is the game everybody wants to hear us talk about. I'm obviously a Madrid fan. Leg's obviously a Madrid fan. For me, it's fuck you, Madrid by 1,000,000. That said, both teams to score over 2.5 is looking like a very nice number at minus 135 over on Caesars. I like this Madrid team total over 1.5, sitting at plus 105 over on Caesars. I think that's a great number. These numbers have fluctuated a little bit since I made this graphic. So the fact that you can get Madrid on a draw no bet at plus 146 on FanDuel, I think is flat out disrespectful. We're starting to see Madrid money line creep up to like plus 200, plus 210 in some spots, obviously because of the new Vasquez news. But personally, I think not having Vasquez makes us a better team. Even though Fetty has to play right back and we have kind of a piecemeal back line here, I like the back line. And we'll get into that. We'll show you what's going on the back line here. I also think that before this two-leg event gets started, Madrid to qualify at minus 106 over on Bet365 feels like a flat-out disrespectful number. Look, it's Madrid. It's City. City's obviously struggling a little bit. Madrid, I guess you could say, is struggling, but they just played the Madrid derby. They've had some issues with the refs. We are not getting a Spanish ref. Let me double check and make sure on that. Yep, we're getting a French ref. So we don't have to deal with La Liga referees here. But yeah, look, I think City can score. I think we score at least twice. I like Madrid on the draw, no bet. I like them to qualify. I like their team total. I think both teams to score over 2.5 at minus 135 is still a bettable number as well.
Everything, you draw your own conclusions, guys. Real Madrid plus 215 now in certain books on the money line. They're plus 140, draw, no bet. And on the same book, I won't mention it, they're minus 140 to qualify. So draw your own conclusions about what you think is going to happen here. I, as objective as I can be here, and I'll tell everybody I've bet Real Madrid the last 3 years to win the Champions League, so they have a special place in my heart. They've done really, really well recently with their string of results, considering the injuries that they have. And they're in a brutal stretch of games right now. And now you have Manchester City, who I just watched give up a goal and almost have to go to extra time against, I think it was Leyton Orient in like the FA Cup or the EFL Cup or one of these cups, like a third division team. City's going through it. So, yes, I get that they're at home, but you're not going to get Real Madrid at this number very often. Do proceed with caution. Like you said, both teams to score very much in play. Goals for City, absolutely possible, but I don't know. The way Madrid's playing right now, the way that they've had Manchester City's number, give me them to get some goals. Give me them on the draw, no bet. A draw suits them really, really well in this game. So just keep that in mind because they have to go home and take care of business again. So
Real Madrid on the draw, no bet in the Champions League is just such an easy bet for me. I know I'm biased. That's why I was like, you know what, I'll let Nick go. We don't have to just have me and Oaks just repeating ourselves. I was looking at the to score assist numbers, and I don't know if maybe I'm dumb, maybe y'all are, but Rodrigo to score assist has been automatic in the last, 15 fucking matches. Vinicius Jr. in the Champions League knockout rounds to score assists has been automatic. Vinicius in England to score assists has been, automatic. And seeing all those with plus signs next to them is crazy to me. I'm with Oaks here also. As soon as I got the Lucas Vazquez injury update, I was like, holy shit. I am actually not afraid of anything now. Doku's got to go against Fetty instead of Lucas Vazquez. Grealish has to go against Fetty instead of... That's massive. Raul Asensio has been playing fantastic. I thought Tchouaméni looked great. That actually solves all of my woes on the back line for Real Madrid to the point that Erling Haaland to score assist was at minus 120. That is a wildly low number for Erling Haaland. A guy that has been put... And even in this whatever downtime that he's had with Man City and all their losing they've been doing, he's still leading the league in goals. The best league in the world. He's leading that league in goals. So, actually, is Salah past him now? And I'm lying.
No, no, he's not.
Oh, no. He's still not past him. Okay.
Nope.
So, Isak's coming though, too.
Yeah, but I don't know. Again, I'm very biased. If I see Camavinga in a starting, if I see Camavinga, Rodrigo, and Fede Valverde down the right flank instead of Brahim, Lucas Vazquez, and Ceballos, I'm going to be a very confident man, and I'm looking at a plus 200 line on Real Madrid. And a Manchester City team that just had 5 put on them from Arsenal and could barely get a championship, maybe even a lower side.
And four from PSG, right? Not even a month ago, 2 weeks ago or whatever it was.
I might get real confident if that's the lineup I see.
No, listen, you guys are 100% spot on. And you look at this City defense, they don't inspire, right? I think Guardiola's a very good player. you think of him more as an attacking player though than a defending player. I mean, at least I do, right? Every time you see him making an impact, it's on the score sheet. Ederson, to me, I mean, I think the guy's been overrated from jump. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. I want to know which way you want me to go with Rodrigo, because he's plus 330 to score, but he's also plus 500 to assist. I can only take one of, I mean, I can take them both, but I can't take 2 score or assist. And I've had the wrong one 5 games going. So I pick him to score, he assists. I pick him to get an assist.
His assist.
Yeah, you pick his assist because
what do you guys
Rodrigo is the king of, well, he came in stoppage time and had 2 header goals versus City as a sub the last, or 2 times ago when we eliminated him. But yeah, Rodrigo's got City's number, and the fact that you can get him to score or assist at plus 155 over on FanDuel is completely disrespectful. As like mentioned, Vinny just owns the knockout rounds and is fucking president of England. He just dominates English soil. His to score assist plus 135 on FanDuel. I don't think he's gone a knockout game in the last 3 Champions Leagues without a game with this goal or assist.
I think there was 1 against Chelsea. It's literally a Chelsea game though.
1 in 3 years.
Hat trick on them also, so it's just
So yeah, I mean,
plus 500 to get an assist is probably the most insane player prop I've seen to this round.
Yeah, there's a lot of good numbers here. I mean, Haaland anytime goal plus 105 on DK, Vinny anytime goal plus 230 on FanDuel. Even getting into the shots on target numbers, Rodrigo just for a shot on target minus 115 on FanDuel. That's a gift. I told you guys over the weekend when Rodrigo's shot on target was minus 110 that was a broken line and we're probably not going to see it again. But we're seeing it again, and there's no such thing as free money, but Rodrigo to hit the fuck off rectangle is pretty much free. No. So yeah, take that at minus 115. Bellingham for a shot on target minus 105 on FanDuel.
I always love a good Bellingham back in England narrative. You know what I mean? Just the score assist was like plus 180 also.
Yes, it was. His assist straight up is plus 450 on FanDuel too. I love Camavinga. I think this is a pretty solid lineup. The only thing I would say is maybe Modric instead of Ceballos for what we're seeing. But even with Fetty playing right back, I still like his shot on target because we still might take corners short to him with our height disadvantage. Asensio and Tchouaméni are the only really tall guys on this back line that come forward for our outswinging and in-swinging corners. But if we go short, I like Fetty's shot on target for plus 195 over on BetRivers. And then I have to mention Kovacic shot on target at plus 290. He's the only guy here that seems comfortable with breaking Pep's rules of, no, I'm not going to look to pass. I'm not going to look to back this ball out. If I'm one-on-one versus a guy and I have a bunch of space and I know I can beat him, I'm going to dribble him and I'm going to fucking rip one. And he scored a couple of banger goals that way. And he's an ex-Madrid guy. So ex-Madrid guys always look to get on the board versus Madrid. Kovacic for a shot on target plus 290 over on BetRivers.
I like Savio also props if he does get the start because he had the whole Vinny and Rodrigo are the people I look up to, and it's him playing against a Spanish team again. You know, you got your little narratives. I like him for a shot on target.
I don't know. Every time I bet him, he stinks.
All right, well then don't bet him, Nick. Leave us alone.
I'm just letting you know.
You told me that.
Goku's the same way.
Couple of bookings props that you gotta look at here is Camavinga to be booked plus 280. We know Camavinga has been injured, so he's not dealing with any sort of lingering limits on his card suspension. So Camavinga to make a Cama-Whoa tackle and get booked sounds pretty good at plus 280. Asensio to be booked at plus 420. Obviously, he's a little bit of a younger bull who's paired up with Tchouaméni, who's out of position. I thought Tchouaméni played really well over the weekend, especially covering for Vasquez, who was essentially playing like a backup center forward, or he was constantly above Fetty and Rodrigo on the pitch. And I was yelling the whole time, dude, you play right back, get the fuck back. So, yeah, I could see Asensio booking. Bellingham, we know that he's gotten more confident. He does chirp. He will get in the ref's ear. Bellingham to be booked at plus 450. is a pretty good look, and Tooch to be booked at plus 500. And then as far as Man City players goes, I couldn't find a number on Nunez, so I went with Akanji. You're guarding Vinny Jr. and Fran Garcia, who's also fast as fuck, that doesn't get enough credit for how good he is. Akanji to be booked at plus 550 seems fucking disrespectful, especially dealing with Mbappe, Vinny, and Fran Garcia.
Over 3.5 total cards, minus 115.
Who's
It's like, who cares?
Isn't it Trossard's cousin or some shit like that?
What?
I think I saw a tweet about that. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. Something Turpin, a French ref. C Turpin.
Oh, he's French. Okay, I'm back in.
That's it, man. Over 3.5, easy.
Hey, we don't. Yeah, these two teams don't like each other either. So I could see over 3.5 cards pretty easily here. Couple other things I want to mention before we get out of here. Vinny assist plus 420 over on FanDuel. I told you guys I will die on the Vinny assist hill anytime it's above plus 300. It's kind of an auto take for me. And then Garvidal for a shot on target at plus 215 on Bet Rivers. We know he's got that spot at the top of the box that he just loves to shoot from. So that's definitely something I can see out of this back line as well.
This guy's only averaging 2 cards a game, Nick. Then he repped Real Madrid.
That's true. He hasn't repped a Madrid game yet. Any final thoughts from you guys?
Good luck to you guys. Good luck
Can
on
you
everybody.
bet-
Their bets.
Also they fixed the Mbappe offside, guys. It's no longer even money. It's now minus 160.
That's probably pretty smart. Anyway, be sure to check out the links down in the description for my Discord. $15 a month. All your support over there also helps make these videos happen. So be sure to check those out down here in the description, as well as my dub club that I do with Flash. I bring you a video every Friday night with mine and Flash's. We each make our 5 best picks for the weekend and put that out along with some other stuff. So check that out as well. Be sure to like and subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/BurOak772. And we will be back with you shortly to continue on with Wednesday's games. What's going on, guys? It's your boy BurOak77 here with Leg and Nick. We are moving on to Wednesday, where we have Bruges versus Atalanta. I don't have predicted lineups from FotMob at this time, so I won't be able to show you the predicted starting 11s, but we're still going to talk about player props. I just won't be able to show you a graphic for those. Bruges at home is incredibly tough. These guys are very sound defensively. We saw it even against City, where they did lose 3-1, covered the spread for us. One of those came off of an own goal, so I got to kind of excuse that a little bit. But Bruges at home has been absolutely brutal all of Champions League, except for the first game versus Dortmund, which do not let that scoreline deceive you. Bruges could have scored 3 themselves. They just didn't put the ball in the back of the net. So I don't know here. Atalanta without Lookman has definitely been a little rougher. One of the things I noticed over the weekend, and this is what I was talking about in Discord with my boy Greaves, Zappacosta is going to have a little bit less of a shooting role now, especially with Posh playing behind him. So I looked at Zappacosta. He'd been kind of money for me on 2 shots, especially without Lookman. But now with Posh gets involved in the attack a lot more. And Zappacosta only had 1 shot over the weekend, and it came in the 77th minute, whereas Posh was shooting early and putting them on target. So that's going to bite into Zappacosta props a little bit, but I'll get to that more in a second. For this game on the lines, I kind of lean the under 2.5 here at minus 111 over on
Atalanta.
Yeah, I bet 365. I just think Bruges plays really good defense. That said, I do really like both teams to score at minus 125 over on Caesars. I could see a 1-1 draw here. I think Bruges wants to win the game. Ideally, they win this game at home, go in with a 1-goal cushion, look to get a draw at Atalanta, which I think is going to be difficult. I think it's going to be difficult for Bruges to advance, but I don't know. This isn't the worst draw that they could have faced with a depleted Atalanta that doesn't have Lookman. I know Atalanta can score goals. I think they're going to be much better in the home leg, but I think Bruges on the handicap plus 0.5 here at minus 130 looks kind of tasty. Like I said, I'm leaning the under as well, but I like both teams to score minus 125. And go ahead and put me down for Bruges on the handicap plus 0.5 at minus 130.
Yeah. I think, listen, the advice is sound. The lean is sound. You're getting a good team at home. I'll never talk anybody out of that, right? I think Bruges gets overlooked in this competition a lot. They're here in the knockout stages. It's not the first time. And Atalanta's going through a little bit of a dry spell. You mentioned it, right? Lookman's hurt. They've sold some guys. They've brought a couple of new guys in. And I say they're going through a dry spell. You know, they've only been kept off the score sheet once since the year turned. But that being said, they've scored only 1 goal, and I think 3 out of their last 6 games, which is like unheard of for Atalanta. So completely get it. That being said, every time I do see a team total at a plus number, I'm always going to be interested in it. Whether this is the spot to take it or not, I think Oaks makes some good points. I don't think you need to go all in, but could I see them scoring 2? They could score 2 in the first 15 minutes. I think they did that.
Bruges could easily answer back with 2 too.
So just, I understand the logic. I was definitely surprised to hear you say an under involving these two teams, but definitely wait for lineups. I think there's going to be a ton of value on some of the Atalanta guys. I don't know who's getting the starts up front. Retegi's coming off a game where he had 4 goals. He's sitting at around plus 200. CDK, who's cooled off an awful lot, is sitting around plus 250. Just definitely wait for lineups. You'll be able to find value, but a draw definitely suits both teams here. A close game, you're not going to go and try to lose the leg in this first matchup if you're Atalanta. So completely get what you're saying.
I also don't expect Atalanta to change who they are. Like, I don't expect them to come in and think that they're going to put on a defensive masterclass against Bruges. I think they're going to play to their talents and to their strength, which is to go fast and try and score goals, which leaves them open to a counter here for Bruges. I think Bruges is just really tough defensively. So, I'm with you. I'm going to let Leg go first, and then we'll jump into some player prop stuff.
I'm going to use the same argument that Oaks did. City scored 3 on these guys. You think that Atalanta's not going to get me at least 2?
I like it.
City scored 2 on these guys. They scored 1 on themselves.
I only need 2. I like Retegui. I don't know if he's Argentine or if he's Italian. That is yet.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
He
Nick.
is both.
I do not respect Bruges. I'm actually going to take Atalanta straight the fuck up. I like Atalanta on the money line at plus 110. I think Nick is completely right with all the stats for their goals. I also just watched them put up 4 again, and I've seen how their form usually goes. And they put up 5.
They did. They got another one versus Palace Plate.
I want to say the next 3 games for Atalanta are going to be very fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, look, I got to take Retegi coming off of a 4-goal game at plus 180. Like, that's just a disrespectful ass number over on Bet Rivers. Like Nick mentioned, I'm not going to take CDK for a goal because of his ability to assist. To score assist at plus 155 just feels pretty disrespectful.
Wait, didn't CDK come from? Where did he come from?
Milan. Oh, originally Bruges. Yes, I'm sorry.
Bruges, though?
Uh-huh.
What's his shot on target number?
I don't know. I didn't write it down, so I don't think it was plus money, but it's probably it's probably like minus 130, minus 135. Good little parlay piece.
Man, now Leg got me fired up. Atalanta score in the first half at minus 110. They score early a lot. they don't tend
They
to
sure do.
have
They're
scoreless
gonna have
halves.
2 goals in the first 15. It's gonna be easy, guys. It's
Be
gonna be
awesome
fun
if
to
they
watch.
did. We'd look great. Yeah, that's a really enticing number for me.
Some Bruges stuff I want to talk about is Tzolis. His shot on target, the Israeli international. He's plus 100 on Bet Rivers, minus 115 on Caesars just to hit the frame. Jugala, the Spanish international, who's my homie, I like him a lot. He is plus 105 on Bet Rivers, minus 115 on Caesars. Decipher, who I always talk about, he plays left back, but is really more of a left wing back who definitely gets forward and gets involved. His shot on target plus 260 MGM. Shop around, find the best number. Him just to take a single shot is minus 135 on FanDuel. Again, I wasn't able to shop that before the show started. Same thing, like I said, with Posh. If he's playing for Atalanta, he definitely eats in to Zappacosta's shot total because he likes to shoot. Him just to take a single shot's minus 125 on FanDuel. If you can find that anything closer to plus money, like take it. I'm fine with taking Posh just to shoot once at minus 125, but I will shop around and get the best number. This Atalanta midfield is full of nothing but dudes who fucking jack. Like I said, Zappacosta, I am worried about his volume a little bit with Posh coming over, but the rest of this midfield, Ederson, Brazilian as fuck, loves to jack for chicks. I like his shot.
Nasty goal this past weekend. Thought
absolutely filthy, dude. His shot on target as well. Bellanova for a shot on target at plus 350 is pretty disrespectful. If you can find his shot close to even money, I absolutely love that. So this whole midfield for Atalanta just loves to jack for chicks. You got Brazilian, you got Zappacosta, and you got Bellanova, all who like to shoot. And then, you got Pasalic, who Nick hates, but and has been asked this year. He's on he's only good like every other year kind of deal. So this is his down year, but he will shoot too.
Yes, he will. 3 shots to hit row fucking 19 or higher all day.
Probably.
Any additional player props you want to talk about, Leg or Nick?
The only other guy I'd be interested in if he's starting is Samardzic for Atalanta. I think I'm not super high on him, but I think he's a better player than he's shown so far. I'm wondering when he's going to have a breakout game. And I'm looking at like a plus 450 number for him to score. Not saying he scores, but I could see this as being one of those types of games where somebody's on the score sheet for a really big number.
All right, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe right here on youtube.com/BurOak772. It costs you guys absolutely nothing to subscribe, and it helps me out an absolute shit ton. That's how I'm able to bring free content with Nick and Leg every single week. So really would appreciate a like and a subscription. All the links below for Nick's podcast, 2FootTalk on Wednesday nights. Give those a like and subscription as well. That way you get notified anytime we go live and anytime I'm dropping new content. So appreciate you guys. We will be back shortly to talk Monaco versus Benfica. What's going on? It's your boy BurOak77 here with Nick and Leg, and we are talking Monaco versus Benfica. French teams have been really strong at home. Can't start a French segment without mentioning that. Benfica has been very hit or miss, both in the Portuguese league and in Champions League. I think they got a little bit better result than they were expecting versus Juventus. I think Juventus started a pretty haphazard lineup because they couldn't get Muani registered for the group stage. So, look, I like both teams to score and the over 2.5 here, sitting at minus 101 on Caesars. I just don't think Monaco is defensively sound enough to keep a pretty solid Benfica team out of the back of their net. Pavladas, who Nick had correctly scoring last Champions League game, his anytime goal scorer is plus 225 again on DraftKings. I think that's a fantastic number. I do like Mbolo. I think he plays well. I think he matches up with a tough defensive Portuguese side where he can play back to goal pretty significantly here. So Embolo for an anytime goal at plus 240, I think is too long. And then we have to mention, and we're going to keep mentioning it, and we're going to keep betting it, Demira to get an assist. He's one away from tying Ronnie's record. If he starts, plus 270 over on FanDuel for an assist. Disrespectful number.
Yeah, I'll take it every game until it hits, because it's going to hit eventually. No, you took the words out of my mouth. BetUS is he's been on fire in this competition, so have to look to him. Tough game for me with the side, just because, like you said, French teams have been really good at home. Portuguese teams I can never seem to get right. This one, like that plus or minus quarter of a goal, that just shows you how fine the margins are in this game. This is the perfect example, because a draw suits Benfica pretty well, right? So you're going to tell me plus a quarter of a goal and I have a chance to walk away with a little money? I could be talked into it, but show me how good Monaco's been at home, and, you know, knowing that they have to take advantage of this leg, they could easily win also. Tough to call aside for me in this one. I'm totally with you that I think both teams to score is a must. Factor that
like
in, however.
170.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Factor it in however you need to, right? Whether that's with an over, like you said, or some other prop or some other game. But yeah, this definitely seems like one where both teams will be on the score sheet.
I'm actually right there with you guys. I did both teams to score, no draw, because I didn't feel like taking a side, but I also don't think
that's a good look.
That was at plus 130 on DK. Then the two names I have were Di Maria and Pavlidis, so glad we already talked about it.
Yeah. Last thing I want to mention before we get out of here is Minamono shot on target minus 103 over on Bet Rivers, and Akalucci, I don't know, the other Turkish bull who plays for Benfica, if he starts, his shot on target plus 105 on Bet Rivers, minus 110 on Caesars. I think that's a good look. I also have to plug BetUS here. This hit last week when I said it was going to, and it's worth a look. In every single Champions League game Benfica has left in them, Otamendi booked. The guy's a gigantic goon on the back line. Otamendi booked plus 235. I use BetUS because we do not have bookings here in Michigan. If you use BetUS or need an offshore book to bet bookings like I do, you can check out the promo code linked right down here below. Get a 125% deposit match. So shout out BetUS. And we look forward to a good, hopefully high-scoring game with both teams to score over 2.5. We will be back to talk Celtic Bayern here in a second. So appreciate you guys. Oaks up. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Burrow77 with Nick and Leg joining me. We are talking about Celtic versus Bayern Munich. Bayern heavy favorites here, but has looked like not the same Bayern. They've definitely had a couple of slip-ups, but all of that said, like, I just don't super respect Celtic. I want to tell you that, like, I like Kasper Schmeichel because he used to play for Leicester, but he seems pretty fucking washed. He just coughed up like 7 goals. I think Bayern come out and lay the fucking hammer here. I don't trust Bayern enough to lay minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap. But I think that Bayern halftime, full-time at plus 100 over on Bet Rivers isn't a bad little look. I think that the first half over 1.5 goals, because Celtic very much could get on the scoreboard here versus Bayern, is worth a look at plus 108 on FanDuel. And I think Bayern to score in both halves, minus 118 on FanDuel, is just a really good number.
The last one's where I was going with it. I know the last game we talked about potentially a team total for Bayern in that first half. I know a lot of good people were on it, and it didn't come through. They had something like 15 first half shots to only get 1 goal, and then of course they laid it on in the second half. But no, I definitely think 2 score in both halves. That's a way better number than I thought it would be. I'm 100% right there, and I'm trying to see. I mean, Of all the games that we've talked about that are in this slate, this has the most potential to get out of hand, and I think it has the most potential for 4 or 5 goals. That's why the over-under is set where it is. If you wanted to take a little bit of a stab just with the over 3.5, I think this is a good spot to do it. And if you're going to do that, you could probably look at a Bayern team total over 2.5. So just some thoughts.
So I love Bayern minus 1.5. I think they handle business against Celtic. My problem is that I hate all of the Bayern player props. I don't like any of the numbers, and I love the Celtic player props because they have so many midfielders that love to just jack for chicks that I wrote down Maida, who's their leading goal scorer. He's been playing right wing for them. I wrote down Engels, 21-year-old big-ass Belgian that's been playing in the Matty O'Reilly spot. I think he's right behind him in goals. And then their right back actually is one of their top goal scorers as well. What is his name? Alistair Johnson. I like him to just attempt a shot. It's those guys that like to step up for them that when you're playing Bayern Munich at home in the Champions League, why not? Have a go.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to play it solo, but if you're giving me Harry Kane minus 135 for an anytime goal, I'm going to put it in a parlay because, like, he's going to take penalty kicks and he's just flat out not going to miss them unless he's in an England shirt. So give me Kane anytime goal at minus 135 over on FanDuel as part of a parlay piece. I like Olise. I think he gets involved on the score sheet here. Like Leg said, there's definitely guys to like on Celtic that are gonna take some shots and you can get some nice shot on target numbers. One thing I will mention, if we see Leon Goretzka, it was his birthday over the weekend. I just want to mention that, like, he didn't play.
Did he score?
Yeah, no, he didn't play, unfortunately. But if he does for some reason in this one, I do like the birthday magic to carry over a little bit. Medea, the Japanese international for Celtic, coming off of a red card suspension. I like him just for a shot on target here. I didn't shop it around. If I can find it, the Kimmich just to take a single shot, especially in away games for Bayern, has been a broken ass number. Kimmich has taken a shot in, like, I don't know, I want to say 13 of his last 15 like matches that he's played. So, keep an eye on that. I've played it all the way down to minus 170 before. If I get a number anywhere close to that, I'm probably going to play it. If I get, minus 150 or better, I'm definitely going to play that to return some big money because Kimmich is always shooting, especially in big games. I also don't hate him to maybe get his name on the score sheet, put a shot on target, maybe it to score or assist. He takes a ton of their set pieces, and he's just fucking awesome. I really hope that Madrid's able to get a deal done with him because he's a great piece that I would love to see on Madrid.
Man, the more we're talking about it, over 2.5 team total for Bayern, just even money. I think, like, everything we've said is just leading me there. Like, they will eventually get that third goal. So I think that's play.
Harry Kane might just score a hat trick, guys. Like, you got to remember that Harry Kane's still playing on Bayern Munich, and he really has to do fuck all. He's got Olise, Coman, and Musiala behind him. If you really want to
big as fuck, like, you can't miss his forehead.
Yeah, if you want to be a bum ass number 9, like we see a lot of time, he could just sit in the box and just have them kick the ball at him. He is very good at finishing. He has 21 goals right now, and it seems like him and Haaland are having, like, down years and just absolutely smashing everybody in goals.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Unless you guys got anything else,
That'll do it.
Cool. We'll keep it moving then. Be sure to check out the links in the description. Join the Discord. My Discord is $15 a month. The Dub Club that I do with Flash is linked down here as well. So check those out. Please help support. That way I can continue to bring you as many of these shows per week as possible with my gracious guests, Young Leg and Nick. So check those out, and we will be back to talk about the final game, which is Feyenoord versus AC Milan in a second. Till then, Oaks out. Doses. Last game here, we got Feyenoord taking on AC Milan, and man, is this going to be a good one because we have a very nice revenge narrative here with Feyenoord trading Santiago Jimenez, their leading goal scorer, to AC Milan, and Jimenez came on and scored a goal, assisted from Pulisic this weekend. We saw what happened to Feyenoord when he got taken off versus Leal. They proceeded to get absolutely shit pumped. I do think Feyenoord gets up big time. This stadium is going to be absolutely jumping. However, despite how leaky and how poor this AC Milan back line has been, I think if Feyenoord does score, it'll have to be early. It'll have to be off of that crowd energy. And then I just look for AC Milan to kind of take over this game. I'm definitely interested in AC Milan away at plus 120. I really like the AC Milan team total over 1.5 at minus 104. I think both teams to score over 2.5 is a very playable number here. 2.5 over 2.5 is playable kind of by itself as well at minus 138. But I like AC Milan here, and I'll let you guys go. But I'm definitely, even if he's not starting, if he comes on as a sub, I'm taking Santiago Jimenez to score against his old team. Plus 185 over on DK. Disrespect.
I'll be honest with you. If they don't start him, I'm not fucking watching this game.
Yeah, I don't want to see fucking Tammy Abraham anymore, dude. I'm good. He got his
does.
goals versus Roma.
Hey, man, we were able to get rid of Morata here, so that's a major win for football and a major win for the Champions League.
Whoa, relax. I heard they respected him in Italy. That's what he told me.
Maybe for Juve 5 years ago, possible. Dog shit for them this year. Oakshie nailed everything, man. I mean, it is the revenge narrative. This is actually pretty salivating matchup of teams that just generate a whole lot of offense and don't play defense.
I'm pretty sure that trade for Santi came through and got it to a number where Feyenoord's like, yeah, we're doing it, and called down to the pitch and took him off versus Leal. I don't think that knock versus Leal was real. I think they just they're like, yo, no, we're doing the deal with Milan. Get him the fuck off the pitch right now.
No, I agree, and I love it. You mentioned it, man. Feyenoord, let's put some respect on their name. They're in Europe year in and year out. They score a ton of goals. They're not going to be an easy out. I think the odds are probably correct. But, man, we saw them come out and put up 3 against Bayern, right, just 2 games ago. So they are very capable. Obviously, Jimenez did score, I think, all 3 of those goals, or at least 2 of them.
2, yeah, he scored 2 of them.
So, yeah, listen, that is going to sting a little bit. But the point I'm trying to make is Milan basically, they solved their one major issue. We talked about this team a lot. They generate a lot of offense. They have really strong midfielders. Leao has picked up his game a lot. Reinders has been outstanding. Pulisic, the only thing that could stop him is pretty much injuries at this point. So they're doing the thing. They just weren't getting any goal contributions from Morata or from Tammy Abraham. Well, now they brought in Jimenez, who obviously is the real deal. They brought in Felix, who you can have an opinion on him one way or the other. I'm not here to sway anybody's positive or negative thoughts on him.
He's just Leao. Him and Leao. I would say he's Portuguese Leao, but Leao is Portuguese. So
yeah, he brings he's much more comfortable playing in the middle of the park and being almost a false 9 at times. So I just think he brings a different dimension. This team could come at you a lot of ways. I think over 1.5 team total for Milan. Yeah, anytime it's in minus 120 range or better, it's going to be an auto bet for me pretty much the rest of the year, because they've been generating the offense for 2 years. They just haven't had the end product all the time, especially once Giroud left. Now I think they have it. So give me that all day, every day. I think over 2.5, exceptionally playable by itself. If you want to stick that with the both teams to score, which I already forgot if you did or not, but that's going to be right there. Enjoy this game. This is going to be one to watch. So hopefully it doesn't disappoint us.
So Nick, I noticed that you were trying to give João Felix praise. You know who also thought that he looked like a good fit and that it could work out for them? Atletico, Chelsea, Barcelona, and now Milan. So I like he looks great in the black and red, and I like what I've seen so far. But I've also seen this play out. I don't know, the last 3 seasons in a row where it's like, wow, look, he started well, and then 2 months go by, and he's still at the exact same numbers, and now he's not playing anymore. And
let's agree, nobody does PR like the Portuguese.
Right?
1000%.
So, Again, if Jimenez doesn't start, you won't even see any of my money on this game. But if you're not putting money blindly on Pulisic and Jimenez, when you see them in starting lineups, you just haven't been paying attention at all.
Yeah, Pulisic in a plus number to score or assist is an absolute must play. I definitely like his assists straight up even more with how many talented players they've put around him. Look, I know that it's Captain America, and obviously I'm very heavy U.S. men's national team fan and U.S. players, but like there's a legit argument to be made Christian Pulisic Player of the Year in Serie A. Like,
at least for Milan.
Yeah,
definitely.
Without a doubt for Milan.
Close,
So, I think Lautaro Martinez definitely had a very weak start to the year. He couldn't even get the start for Champions League games. He has found his form a little bit, but like Christian Pulisic is the engine that makes this team go. And that's no discredit to what Dianni Rangers has been able to do. He's really, really good from the midfield here. I like Rangers for 2 shots. I like him for a shot on target. Igor Paxico for Feyenoord is the guy I look to pick up some of this slack that Santiago Jimenez is going to be leaving behind him. So him to score assist is something I could definitely get involved in. But look, Theo Hernandez to put a shot on target or just to have a couple of shots playing left back here. This back line is very susceptible for Milan. You get a lot of guys, especially Theo, who likes to bomb forward and play offensively. He's also good for assists as well because he does take a majority of the set pieces. And AC Milan's only gotten better on set pieces with the addition of Jimenez and all their offensive stuff here. So, there's a lot to like about this game. I will need to see some lineups for some additional player prop stuff, but give me AC Milan. I like them on the money line. I like their team total.
Yeah. This could be a corners game also. Over 9.5 is sitting at -110. I think that's definitely in range. The only thing is it could be one of those games where a lot of the shots go in the back of the net instead of out for a corner. So just be cautious, but I think this is just going to be end-to-end stuff, honestly.
Like, you got anything else?
I don't know, dude. I don't know how Feyenoord would possibly even get a result from this one. And that AC Milan money line being +120 looks fantastic.
I'm right there with you. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please follow us on social media. I'm at BurOak77. Nick is at Nick Dianni. Leg is at A Young Leg. Twitter, Instagram, all of that. You can catch all of the stuff right down below in the video description as well. That'll do it for us. That's 8 Champions League games. I'm going to edit this and get it up on YouTube. I'll do the full length first, and then I'll break down the individual segments. It's going to take me a while to edit these guys. So if you want information soon, watch the full length. If you want it conveniently, give me some time. I'll get you the individual videos up as well. Once again, I got to ask you guys, please like and subscribe right here on YouTube. youtube.com/BurOak772 or at BurOak772. It costs you absolutely nothing. It helps me out a ton. Check out the Discord, all the links, everything right down below as you need it. I appreciate you guys very much for giving me a couple hours of your time today so we could do these videos. Going to do some lives tomorrow and Wednesday. I know Leg is at work. Not sure, Nick, what your schedule is, but we'll get in touch on the back end. So Expect some live stuff coming from me tomorrow and Wednesday, and you'll get notified for those if you follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So be sure to do that. Links right down here below. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you at the window. We out. Doses. We outside.